Hi Floss Tube, welcome back to my channel, Cakes and Stitches. It's been 6-7 weeks since I last recorded. It's been the school summer holidays here in the UK, and so I've had the children at home. Today is Saturday the 31st of August. I still have the children at home, husband's gone to work, and I have given them strict instructions to leave me alone so that I can get on and do this. So hopefully they have listened and will be good for the next half hour, 40 minutes. I've got notes down here which I will refer to, so I will be looking down occasionally, and my first instruction to myself is to keep calm and slow down, because I realised my last video was incredibly speedy. I don't know why, because this is like video 6 now and it still makes me a bit panicky, so I think it's because there's other people in the house and I worry that they're going to hear me or walk in or something. But anyway, I'll try to stay calm and I will try to speak a little more slowly so that it's easier to understand and a bit more enjoyable for everybody. So what was I going to say? Even though the last time I recorded was just before mid-July, I'm only going to cover August stitching today. I didn't do a lot in July because we went on holiday in the middle of July, and in the weeks up to it I was preparing myself for that. So I'm just going to do August stitching today. I hope that's okay. I've just realised I've left my finish and FFO downstairs, so I'm just going to pause. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, hopefully I'm back in the same position roughly. A little bit out of breath doing 2 flights of stairs, but never mind. Okay, so this is a finish and an FFO. It is the Prim Alphabet Sampler by Lila's Studio. Trying to get over it a little bit. So I stitched this on Ada. I can't remember if it was 16 or 18 count now, but it's like a very pale grey Ada, and I chose just colours that I thought would go with my living room because it being in my living room was my intention. I finished it as a pillow. So I've done that thing that I've seen other people do where you sew up all the way and then, oh excuse me, breathe, sewed up all the way and then cut like a cross in the back, filled it and then covered it with felt, and it's okay, no one's going to see the back, are they? So I'm quite happy with that. It's nice and plump, so that sits now on my mantelpiece in my front room, so very pleased with that. Okay, so on to whips. So my whips I'm going to do in the order that I've worked on them during August. So the first thing that I worked on in August was my Haid, which is called Quick Stitch Dahlia. So you've seen this one before. Here is where we are at. So Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches did a challenge during August to do with the Olympics called #StitchTheMedals, and I think if England got a gold, you stitched 100 stitches, a silver was 80 stitches, and a bronze was 50 stitches. So once I got back off holiday, I got back on the 1st of August and I decided to join in with that for this piece. I very quickly had to stop joining in because I could not keep up. Amazing that England were doing so well in the Olympics, but I couldn't keep up with the stitching. But what I did manage was 1,421 stitches on this. So there she is. I did lots of filling in down here, and then I've just recently moved my hoop back over to this side, and I've been doing this orange down the side here just for a change of colour because I was getting a little bit bored of constant blue. But she's looking beautiful. I think she's at about 35% now, and I want her at 50 by the end of the year, which is definitely doable. So yeah, very pleased with her. As I said, she's a Haid and she's on 25 count easy guide. Okay, so once I'd given up on Stitch the Medals and put her away, I decided to have a new start. So my new start is this chart here. So it's Autumn Pillow by Flossabilities. So I bought this from Talking Dog Stitchery a little while ago. I also bought one of the threads from Talking Dog Stitchery as well. So this is where I am up to. So I'm stitching this on a 25 count even weave by DMC in the colour Ecru, and I've got two colours. So this brighter one here is a Cottage Garden Threads. It's called Chinese Lantern. I bought that from Talking Dog Stitchery, and the darker colour is Gentle Art Acorn. And what I'm planning to do is have the darker colour here now and here, and the bright one in the middle, and then swap again at the bottom, so sort of alternating them, just because I felt like that bright colour was a bit too bright if I had it all together. And also, once I'd stitched the fox, I wasn't really sure that I was going to have enough of the thread if I kept going just with that one colour. So we're alternating, and I think it's looking really nice, and I would like to have this done by the end of September ideally. Needle minder down here is by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it says Positivity Rules. It was the needle minder that went with their mystery stitch along way back in 2020. So that's that one, and that is living in a bag. I'll take my cardigan off, it's incredibly warm. Living in a bag that I've made myself. Don't know why I just zipped that up. So this is some Diary of a Wimpy Kid fabric, which I bought, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, specifically to make this pouch, but this pouch was supposed to be for my son. We were going on holiday and I wanted to make him a little pouch to put things in to take on the aeroplane. I stitched this top bit to that zip and it all went a bit wonky. I got very frustrated and I just gave up. But I've decided I'd quite like to have a go at making some of my own project bags. I really can't afford to keep buying them. So I figured I'd have a go with this. I'd already started, and yeah, it's come out pretty good. It's just the right size for that little project that's in it. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and I've sewn another bag since, which I'll show you shortly. Okay, have a quick swig of tea. Okay, the next thing I worked on, let's turn over, is a Caterpillar cross stitch project. So let's get all of that in the screen. There we go. So this project is, I wonder if I come back a bit, that might be better. There you go, you can see me and the project now. This is British Isles Adventure. So this is from a couple of years ago now. I think it started January 2023. And I was going great guns on this, keeping up with all the clues, and then as usual something else caught my eye, so I stopped stitching on it. But you'll see in my haul later I've got another one of their mystery stitch alongs to start, and I just wanted to get a little bit further on this before starting something new. So this time around I've worked down here. So I've put in the leprechaun hat, the rainbow with the pot of gold, the harp, the clover, the horseshoe, little seal, these little islands down here which I think are the Isles of Scilly, and a little crab. So that was only about 5 or 6 days stitching. I think I don't get a lot of time to stitch in a day, so I was quite happy with that. That's all kit materials. I believe it's 16 count Ada, and the needle minder on there, Super Stitcher. Super Stitcher is actually the name of my little knitting business that I have, so I liked that when I saw it, and that's from Caterpillar Cross Stitch as well. Okay, that is living in, it's not sponsored by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, this video, but it is living in a Caterpillar Cross Stitch bag as well. Okay, after that I had another new start. So in February next year it is my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. It's their golden wedding anniversary. They're incredibly difficult to buy for, and so I decided I was going to stitch something for them instead. I'm not sure how they're going to feel about it. It's not really their thing, but I just felt like it was a nice gift. It's personal. They'll know I've spent time on it, and hopefully they'll like it. So I picked For Thee by Lila's Studio, which is a free design on her website. So this is how far I've got. In fact, let's leave it folded because it's only half of it so far. So that's where I've got to. So for thee by Lila's Studio, it is stitched on a 28 count antique white even weave by Fabric Flair. I've chosen my own colours. My parents, despite being in their mid to late 70s, quite like modern colours and decor and things, so we've gone quite bright. I absolutely love stitching this. It's the first proper Quaker, I would say, that I've ever stitched on, and I will definitely be stitching more Quakers after this. I love it. Just to sit and get like one motif done feels like a little win, although that flower has been stitched 3 times, so that didn't feel like as much of a win. This needle minder, so it's a bit of a glare, that's from Cotton and Clay UK, and I bought that because I knew I was stitching in red and I thought it would go with it. I like the heart because it's for a wedding anniversary, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got little bits of gold sparkle in there for their golden wedding anniversary, so I thought that was pretty perfect. I love that. Okay, I picked up my favourite project for a few days of stitching, just because I felt like it. So this is Fantastic Felines. I've said before, the pattern for this is no longer available, but when I do eventually finish it, I will send it to someone else if they'd like to stitch it and share the love a bit. It's 16 count white Ada from Zweigart. It is all the called for DMCs. Needle minder, you've seen before, is from Maloka Designs, and yeah, I was filling in this flower down here when I was stitching this recently. It's just had a couple of nights work, and I finished the cheek as well. This cheek here, this side, I finished that. So just got his eyes to do on his face now, and then he might stop looking quite so creepy. But yeah, still loving working on that. And then the last thing I've worked on this month is a whip that I completely forgot about when I did my whip parade recently. This was actually probably the first cross stitch I did when I first got back into cross stitching. It was bought for my sister. She didn't touch it, gave it to me, and I gave it a go. It is this one, so it's called Elegant Geisha. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection Petite, and I didn't get very far with it, but it's so screwed up and so many hoop marks. When I put this away probably a couple of years ago, I left it in the hoop, so yeah, that's going to take some getting out when it's finally done, but never mind. It is, I think it's an 18 count Ada that came with the kit, all the kit threads, and the colours are gorgeous, aren't they? Absolutely gorgeous. So I did a couple of nights on this, just to try and keep it ticking along when I rediscovered it. But that's not going to be finished anytime soon. But I do like it. I really like geishas. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. Okay, so that is all my whips. There was one other forgotten whip. Actually, it's a lie. There was a few other forgotten whips. And there's one other that I picked up earlier this month, but I've left it downstairs and I hadn't done very much on it. So I'll show you that another time. Okay, so next on my list is haul. So I had a birthday in August, and I got a few bits for my birthday, but if I'm brutally honest, most of the stuff I'm going to show you I bought myself. So let me just turn this pile over because it's opposite to the list that I wrote. First of all, I've got a couple of bits I bought in July, which arrived in August. So I have got Just Cross Stitch Halloween, which has got some really lovely patterns in it. I'm probably not actually going to stitch any of these this year, but you know, it's handy to have when I do fancy it. So I got that from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. And I also, sorry for the rustling, I forgot to take this out of the bag. I'll do it quickly. I also got on her recent Fabric Super Sunday. I was on holiday, I was in Florida, and set reminders on my phone at some ridiculous time because it was 5 hours time difference, so that I could do her Fabric Super Sunday. And I got, let's fold it in half. I got this gorgeous piece of fabric. So it's blues and teals and greys, really lovely, nice mottling. It's fat quarter, 28 count even weave, which is my favourite at the moment. Trying to get more into the 32 counts, but my eyesight is dreadful, so this is much easier for me. So yeah, really lovely. And I think it might be nice for some of those Halloween projects when I get around to some of them. It's coming out really light on camera. It's actually a fair bit darker than what you're seeing. But yeah, that's nice. Okay, then I've got, so this was a birthday gift. So I've booked, I think I said on my last episode, I've booked to go on the Bella Filipina retreat next May, June. I don't really have any fancy ladies because they terrify me, if I'm completely honest. I've got one free Mirabilia mermaid, which I showed you in my whip parade. Sorry, I'm getting fidgety. So yeah, I really wanted to get into the fancy ladies, and I decided that a Nora Corbett might be the best way to go because they're a little bit smaller. So I chose this one. So this is Anemone from the Pixie Blossoms collection. Absolutely love the colours in this, those really sort of bright jewel tones. So I asked my sister to get me the kit from Hawkins Hobbies. Unfortunately, it was out of stock when she ordered it. So she bought this, bless her, she went off and found all the DMCs and all the beads we need. Luckily there's only 3 beads, but she couldn't get the fabric. So I've just this week ordered a piece of 32 count from Peakside, which has arrived. I'm not going to show you because it's already downstairs in a frame, because I am planning to start this tomorrow. So it's all ready to go. I have prepared my threads. I'll show you those. All these are gorgeous, gorgeous colours. So they are lovely. So they're all ready to go. And the fabric I got, as I said, it's 32 count. Silvery grey, that is what I got. And yeah, that was from Peakside, and typically with Peakside it arrived super speedy, which is fantastic. So they were my presents. Oh no, I've got one more cross stitch present. I've got a book as well. So I got this book, so Cross Stitch Happy Days by Kyoko Maruoka. Hope I've said that right. So I've got a few favourites in here I was going to show you. I really like the cover pattern, which is, I'm going to cover my face for a minute and hope that you can see that one there. I think that's really sweet. I also like this one. Again. So it's like a hydrangea made up with lots of, it's called hydrangea and butterflies, so lots of butterflies. And then there's 2 little ladies in the back, which I think would look really nice stitched and framed up together. So there is, oh, try not to get the glare, there we go, that lovely one there. So she is called Stylish Girl, and the other one on the next page, this one, hopefully you can see that. She is called Girl with Dove, and I think they're really beautiful, and they don't look like they would take too long to stitch, so they might be on my plans for next year. Okay, things I bought myself. I'll fidget, I'm afraid. Oh, and things I made myself. So I made myself another project bag for something specific. So here it is. This lovely Christmas fabric. Now this did go quite wrong, because this bit up here is supposed to be the same as this bit here, but I flipped my materials the wrong way, so the lining up here is this one. And I also learned a very important lesson, to make sure that when you're cutting fabric, don't have other fabric underneath, because I managed to slice through here on this blue fabric, so I've had to do a bit of a bodge job with some wonder web and a little piece I've cut from somewhere else to hide the cut that I made in it. But you know, it's only the second one I've made. It's not going to win any prizes, but it will do the job, and it's Christmassy because Another piece of haul is this kit. So this is Holly Jolly Kitchen from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is their new mystery stitch along, which is starting on September 17th. I've got the 14 count Ada kit because I want this to be a really nice, relaxed, chill out of an evening when I'm tired. Just stitch a motif and just enjoy it. So I didn't want it to be on fabric that I find tricky. So it's a really nice green. I'll show you the fabric. Really nice green fabric, and the threads are lovely, all organised obviously. So really lovely colours. So yeah, I'm looking forward to starting that. So that'll be 2 new starts for September. It seems to be my average at the moment, 2 new starts every month but only 1 finish. So something's going to get quite unbalanced there, isn't it? Okay, and then I've got a few charts that I bought myself. So I've got this from Silver Creek Samplers. It is called Taking It Easy, and it says, "At the beach is where I find a place to let my soul unwind." I think that's lovely, and I've put in there a piece of that 28 count DMC ecru that I'm doing the autumn pillow on, because it's virtually the same colour as that fabric in the picture, so I think that will work quite well. So yeah, no immediate plans to start that, but glad to have it. I have got this one. So this is Eiffel Quaker by Jardin Privé. I got this from Talking Dog Stitchery. I requested this one. I emailed her and asked her if she could order it for me on her next order, which she did. Came through super quickly. Really love this, and now I'm enjoying that Quaker with 4V so much. I think when I finish that one I might start this one and carry on with another Quaker, because I'm really enjoying the Quaker thing, and I really love France and Paris, and I can really see this up on my bedroom wall, just looking above my bed where I'd like it to go. So yeah, I think that might be a start sooner rather than later. This is Summer Bouquet by Yasmin's Made with Love. I've got a little bit of, well, not a little bit, but I've got a piece of Coffee Craft fabric that's blue that I think will work really well for this, and I really love those colours. Again, no immediate plans to start this one, but nice to have in my stash, and obviously, as I say, I've got a piece of fabric ready, so when I do decide to start, that won't take too much kitting up. And then last but not least for haul, I have number 4, which is the little bear, and number 5, which is like the little quilt block for the log cabin quilt. Oh no, it's not called log cabin quilt. What's it called? Log Cabin Christmas by Little House Needleworks. So I'm more than halfway through collecting these now, and they're probably going to be a stitch for next year as well. So yeah, lots and lots of haul. I'm hoping that as we go into the end part of the year and beginning of next year, that my haul is going to decrease a little. I do need to stop spending money on things I don't have time to stitch. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I brought some knitting to show you today. So you have seen this before. This is my advent cowl. So this is huge, so I'm going to try and reel it up the screen past me. So this is where I'm knitting at the moment, and I will show you. You can see it's a fade, so each of the colours fades into the next. They're actually looking very different to each other on camera. In real life it is much more of a fade. It's getting quite a hard stripe on camera. So yeah, really nice. This is a really simple knit, just go round and round and round. I cast on 100 stitches, and I'm just knitting right to the end, and it's going to be a scarf for my little girl. I've got 4 colours left in my advent to go into this, so this is another thing I'm hoping to have finished by the end of September. So hopefully I stick to my plans, that's 2 finished things I should be able to show you next time. And that's in this lovely bag by Amelia Xjoy on Etsy. Really cute. Okay, what's next on my list? Next is a book. So this was a book that I read on my Kindle. So I'm just going to see if I can get a picture up. My Kindle wants to work. So, are you going to be able to see it? Maybe if I hold it like that. So you can just about see it. It's called The Beekeeper of Aleppo. It was written by Christy Lefteri. I'm going to put it down because it's very glary. But Beekeeper of Aleppo. So I read that over the last month. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I've started rating my books now. I've got a little list in the back of my new journal where I'm rating them. So I gave it 4 out of 5 on the basis that I loved the story. I really liked the characters in it. They're Syrian refugees. They have the beginning when they live in Syria, and then the things that happen that cause them to become refugees. And it's about their journey from Syria to England. And I was rooting for them the whole way through. I really liked the characters in it, really wanted them to do well and get to where they wanted to be. I think it's a great book for building some empathy and compassion and understanding of what other people go through, that hopefully, God willing, none of us ever have to go through ourselves. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 is the structure of the book, because some of the chapters, the way they change from one chapter to another isn't a hard finish from one chapter to the next one. There's kind of they link one chapter to the next with this one word, and I like to get to the end of a chapter and then put it down and then read another chapter later, and it was hard to do that because of this way the 2 chapters were linked. But other than that, I would thoroughly recommend it. It was a really, really good book. Really enjoyed it. Just noticed something else I've left. Right, I have brought a bake with me. 1 minute. I'm back. I left it on the other side of the room. I can't believe I'm still so pink. It must be really hot in here. Gosh. So today's bake, take it off the plate, is this absolutely gorgeous, delicious cookie. So this is a chocolate chip cookie. It is a Nigella Lawson recipe. I got it out of one of my books, but I've checked today and you can get it online. So I'm going to link the recipe underneath. These were delicious. Really, really easy to make. The kids devoured them. This one I actually froze about a week ago because I knew I wanted to share it with you, and I knew if I made another batch they'd never survive, so I froze this one and hid it in the freezer, which it does say in the recipe you can freeze them and then defrost and eat them, so that's going to be my little treat later if I can hide it from the kids. But yeah, if you like a cookie, check that recipe out underneath the video. It's delicious, really easy to make, and you will enjoy it. The only thing I would say actually is the recipe says use 300 grams of chocolate chips, which I thought was far too much. We only used 100 grams and it probably wasn't enough, so when I make them again we'll be using 200 grams of chocolate chips. So that would be my advice, to try that rather than 300. So I think that might be a bit of overkill. Okay, last thing to talk about, I'm gonna have to shift again, I do apologise, is September plans. So I intend to put another 1,000 stitches in my Haid to keep that on track and keep going towards that 50%. And I'll probably try and get that done fairly early in September. I'm going to carry on with For Thee by Lila's Studio, doing as much as I can because that has got a deadline. My parents' golden wedding anniversary is right at the beginning of February, and I'd like that done mid-January so I can get it framed. So yeah, that needs some work, but that's okay because I'm loving that. I will be starting Anemone tomorrow, maybe this evening, but definitely tomorrow. So I'll be working on that during September. I've got my Holly Jolly Kitchen Stitch Along starting on the 17th of September, and I really, really do want to try and keep up with the prompts and the clues for that. So once that comes out on the 17th of September, I will just stitch on that until I've completed that part of the pattern, is my intention. And then because it's Sampler September, I am going to pick out one of my samplers. I haven't decided which yet, and I think I'll probably leave it towards the end of the month when I've done the things, you know, my 1,000 stitches on Dahlia, I've done my Holly Jolly kitchen clue, I've spent a bit of time on my other things. Then I'm going to pick out one of my samplers, and for the last bit of September, maybe the last week, I will work on one of my samplers. And I really should do the one that I've designed or charted myself, so that maybe I can show it to you next time, so I've never shown that before. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Those are my plans, and that's it, I think. So hopefully I have been a little slower this time, and you've been able to see everything properly and understand everything properly. I'm not sure whether I've been calm or not. Very nervous about the fact that my kids are hanging around the house and, I don't know, maybe overhearing me. It's very silly. I'm putting this on the internet for complete strangers to watch, and I worry about my children hearing me. Hopefully next time it will be a day when everyone's out of the house and I can relax a little bit. My intention going forward is to film at the end of each month. I know I said before that having a filming schedule is difficult because of my husband's work pattern, but I think it is nice to do it at the end of the month and have a round up of that month's stitching and think about plans for the month that's ahead. So that is my intention, if I can, to try and film around the end of September and give you a catch up on what I've done in September, see if I've met those goals and those plans I've got for myself, and then make some plans for October. So hopefully I will see you back again at the end of September. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming back, those of you who've been before. If there's anyone new, I hope you come back again. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thank you, bye.